A Laramie County fire chief and his wife have pled not guilty to aggravated child abuse charges and conspiracy to commit aggravated child abuse on their 13-year-old adopted son. On June 22nd, 2025, a 13-year-old boy showed up to the Youth Development Center, knocked on the door, and said he needed a place to live. This boy gave them the wrong name and his wrong birthday. And with looking at him and his emaciated state that he was in, they could see ribs protruding from his skin and he was off color. They decided that they would call authorities. The next day, the boy went to the Child Advocacy Project for a forensic interview. The boy told the interviewer that his parents were Derek and Angela Middlestat and that his mom Angela dropped him off at the center and said, knock on the door and tell them that you need a place to live. The boy disclosed that he was kept in his room for over 2 years with heavy stuff on the other side of his door, so he was not able to get out, and he had to use the bathroom in his bedroom. The boy told the interviewer that he wasn't a very nice boy, that he wet the bed, and that he would pick at himself a lot. The boy said that he only got 1 meal a day because of how he behaved, and that meal would consist of white bread with ham, with some vegetables, and a Gatorade Zero. The boy said that he wasn't allowed out of his room, he wasn't allowed to play with his little brother, he wasn't allowed to watch TV or go to the fire station with his dad. Derek was interviewed by police, and he said that they adopted the 2 boys because his wife had lost a family member several years ago, and that was how she dealt with that. Derek claimed that he was often away from the home due to work and that the boy was not kept in his room for 2 years. He told interviewers that he would walk around the property with his son and look for cactus, but his son was too frail and too thin and too weak to dig up the cactus with a shovel, and so he would do that for his son. Angela was interviewed by the Laramie County Sheriff's Office on June 23rd, and what she told interviewers kind of shocked me. She said she got the teen as just a little boy. He was homeless, malnourished, and fucked up with kid trauma. Angela also said that the boy lacked feeling or remorse and would not go to school, and that he didn't have any empathy towards people and didn't care about rewards or consequences. On June 24th, the boy was taken to Denver's Children's Hospital, where he just weighed 50 pounds and he was extremely deficient in vitamin D. The affidavit said that he would have to stay in the hospital for weeks to try to bring up his caloric intake. The hospital said that he was eating appropriately and they hadn't noticed any behavioral issues. The doctor did say that the malnourishment was so bad that it had affected his bone growth and his development. The 6-year-old brother was taken into protective custody. They were each arrested, but they were released on a $15,000 bond each. The trial is set for November 24th, but they are trying to get separate trials. I think I read that he was blaming the wife. I don't know if they're turning on each other, but then in that case, they would separate the trials. But I will be keeping up on this if you want to check back in. But if you are struggling with your foster or adopted children, please reach out for help. Do not hurt your children. There are resources available, and be a voice for the discarded voices.